Oh, I think I'm live already. Yeah. All right. So I just have um, my Notion up here. How would you grade your overall trading today? Um, Probably a B minus. Um, a bit impatient, waiting for the soup long and didn't have it clearly planned or defined for the S&T. That would have biggest made a massive difference when logging in queue for the bigger move, as well as having confidence to relong RTY for the two for the double longs to relatively close. All right, and then how would you grade your emotions in psychology? Pretty bad. Uh, no, they were pretty good. I just wasn't thinking clearly. So it was more like decent psych, though still tilted after losing and winning. Um, but this might be completely due to my sleep being pretty poor. So I'm looking forward to sleeping well. What were some great things you did while trading today? Taking my profits on the RTY when we made the soup of the high without YM. There still was another long, but at that moment it was precisely perfect to take those all off and wait for the probable pullback or even a short down since the S&T was there for it momentarily. Consequences of repeating these great things. I'll have great, greater conviction and confidence when it comes to getting back into a trade and honestly making more money, making more P&L, much, much more P&L, and not letting a winner come back for a stressful stop out or small improvement. Today's mistakes and errors, the long on the wrong S&T again due to not defining clearly enough the S&T I was wanting. Solutions. Um, Define or create a process to define the exact SMT I'm anticipating so that I can go in not just correctly, but with size conviction for large wins and small losses. Small, rare losses. That's the ideal. How would you grade your processes and systems? Um, Now that I'm thinking about that, probably like a B plus. Where's the plus? Since I should have an area to define the type of SMT, and I didn't fully fill out my my planner since I let so get distracted with the charts and not finishing the work that literally would have clarified some of those issues this morning. Summary review of the day. Great day though with how I slept. Great day though with how I slept. Honestly, with more sleep, I do think that would have made a good impact on my trading. Who knows? But only good, likely. Yeah, I mean, that second R2Y long might have been in play. On top of that, I might have gone in bigger size than R2Y. On top of that, I might have not even missed out on the NASDAQ long. Like, a lot of things could have went better with good sleep. But did great still, and just need to add in that small new process. All right, did you mark out? Okay, now it's time to do the actual charting. Here we go. All right. So, actually, before I forget, I'm going to go edit my template though, so that my daily planner has edit. Um, we need to add one, but I'm going to put it towards the top. How do I resize that? No. Oh no. What the? There we go. Good enough. All right. So, cool. Now let's look at the charts. This is the fun part. All right. So we had some green an up close day. on YM and ES, down close day on Russell, NASDAQ, with a bit of a gap down here. Interesting. A little gap here on Russell. And also, not really, just a very, very small one. Alright, there's going to be a lot of stuff I got to delete here now. It's a 4 hour now. It's green. Soup, we just completely eliminated those relative equal highs there. We do sort of still have relative equal lows here, but I'm going to delete it because it's not really, I don't really care too much now, since it's on the other charts. And then now we're forming a 4 there. Cool. I'm just going to quickly mark out the PD arrays that are relevant to me. This is an inversion here. 4 hour, oh, we already know yellows. So we'll mark that inversion and leave that exactly the same. We had some relative equal lows there, those got taken. This 4 hour here never got tapped into on NASDAQ. It's still a bearish 4 hour, but it doesn't look like it's too relevant anymore. Looks like there was a level, this gap here was kind of relevant. But yeah, I mean, we are closing below it, so actually, you know, leave that there. So far we're closing below it, so I just want to see until tomorrow. Alright, Russell, don't like how that's there. Russell's still holding that relative equal high, fair value gap. Relative equal highs. And looks like we got maybe some relative equal lows there also. Cool. So yeah, so far we still have this SMT here. I'm actually going to leave that. I need to stop deleting it. And just make sure it's confirmed. There's a drawing. Okay. So far the SMT is there. And it is here on Russell. Oops. So, gonna leave that there. So yeah, we do have bullish SMT on everything. Going down to the 1 hour, we have a bit of a small inefficiency here. We'll see if that gets traded into overnight. So 1 hour bullish, and really clean relative equal highs here. I'm just going to mark another line here so that's very specific. We did take it, but now it's just relative equal highs. So. Okay. ES, same sort of a level, relative equal highs. Looks like we did take it too, but yeah, still climbing higher. NASDAQ, no like inefficiencies to note really. Going back to the higher time frame. Okay, yeah, so we still have that. Those little areas there are still kind of relevant. Still holding below them, but I suspect we'll break. And then, let's see, 1 hour, nothing here. This gap occurred here, so I'm just gonna make this not so freaking long. All right. So yeah, really clean area there on Russell. Send alert there. That's already an obvious level. We'll see if it's relevant though to SMT. And let's see here. We do have a 1 hour inefficiency here. It is sort of just above that 4, so maybe we'll, I don't know, wick into it. Yeah, just a little 1 hour here. But yeah, so SMT analysis. So SMT on the low, it's characteristic for Russell to still come in soup lower. So this is very longy looking to me still. And then Dow Jones is strong. Looks like we're back into that market where Dow Jones is just going to keep tearing up. Nasdaq's going to remain weak, and maybe this is going to be the real break for Russell finally, very soon, at least in this current dealing range. So it does seem pretty freaking bullish. You're finally getting the right S&T for Russell to really catch some steam. Doesn't mean it's going to go up right exactly now, but um, we do still have these relative equal lows here on ES. So, no, ES. Oops. Relative equal lows there. And there is an inefficiency there. So, not sure if we'll ever come down here, but, or for that is the short term. It's just a 1 hour. So that's there, and then nothing much else to say here. I mean, we do kind of have relative equal lows here on Nasdaq, but I mean, yeah, they kind of technically are close enough. So I'm just gonna leave that there. But yeah, so yeah, Dow Jones is taking out this high. I don't trust those types of shorts, so that's not my style. Sometimes there is a short, but I need to go and review that and replay that to figure out how it works. And usually when they are shorts, they just don't come down to take out lows. They're like just a short-term internal range short. So I need to, yeah, just need to review those. All right, so we have this low here coming down, which was what's that? What triggers? Oh yeah, we had Dow Jones come up and create SMT to give us that short. We made SMT into the open, just a very tough one though. And now Russell just being really weak. Might just need to pivot to these shorts. It's getting a little too messy. Yeah, and even on this range, yeah. Also, this is just a tricky area for me right now, so this is going to be kind of a trickier analysis. But yeah, let's just look at the flows really quick in the last 3 days, just for perspective's sake. So you had the big move down Friday, bearish flows, and then the gap down, and the gap back up, and bearish flows, very bullish tide, and now we had a bearish tide today. Pretty low volume, but the premiums are pretty high, they're very high. While SPY technically was still bearish yesterday and flipped bearish into that low, but calls and puts both coming up. So, I mean, that is net bear, especially the tide, like a bearish tide like that. Look at all that call selling. That is crazy. So, it's just kind of tricky because usually when I like to short YM or excuse me, Nasdaq or what or ES or whatever, I want these guys to actually come take out. You know what? That's actually so very possible. Now that YM has barely taken this out, it's actually pretty likely we could still get that short. Yeah, never mind. And yeah, these bearish flows can play out for a while until we actually get the move. So that makes sense. So yeah, there may be a nice short here setting up. Still, that's my thoughts today too, during the day. The Dow Jones has had bearish flows all week. Russell, bearish Friday, and then actually leaning slightly bullish yesterday, with today being a really crazy day. But it did cross very bullishly during the consolidation, so that's pretty interesting. It's really IWM. Yeah, I guess that only shows just this small range. Yeah, I mean calls got wrecked here, but then skyrocketed. But the meaningful thing that happened here was they all of their puts they had into this were sold. And not only that, it looks like puts from yesterday. So that it really is net bullish from here. So I would want to see some sort of technical setup into the open or the news. Yeah, CPI. I'm suspecting this is going to be a really strong CPI long on Russell to create the short here later maybe. Dow is very bearish. Makes a lot of sense there. This is looking pretty good now. 3 days of flow for Qs, bearish Friday, of course, bullish yesterday with put still positive, and then clearly bearish, very clearly. So I think that kind of clears things up for me there. Um, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think we're going to get some sort of a long here in Russell. It's just going to be the same thing, and then I'm going to want to see maybe the Dow comes takes this high, creates an SMT maybe below this range or this range, whatever we create overnight, we'll see. We'll have to update that. But I do think that may actually end up leading into quite a nice short in the Dow. The Dow will probably come back, soup these lows for the next big rotation back up though. So it's not that I'm bearish a higher time frame. I'm bearish upcoming for just an internal on the higher time frame an internal range sweep for a long. So right now there could be a little short here, maybe we'll see, but I think that's gonna be too tricky to catch. And I think the long is more clear on Russell. I don't think the short's gonna trigger until we get Nasdaq and ES over the top of where the Dow is, and I think the Dow is probably gonna remain weak. And as we get into this, we'll probably become weak. So that makes way more sense. And yeah, I mean, the flow is flat out bearish. Don't get me wrong. And we do have technical, very bearish SMT here. So I mean, it is still likely we could get a short just from there. Yeah, maybe we do get, so maybe we get a short, we create long SMT for Russell, and then we create some sort of long in these guys back up for a fake short and then a real short as we come up higher. That's going to be tricky. But that really lines up with the levels here. We've got these levels untapped on Dow Jones Industrial Average, relative equal highs, all the SMT you want to see for the old type of short that does still kind of work. It just doesn't deliver to real lows usually. And then yeah, that makes sense for the long here too on IWM. IWM can even still come back down and tap that, but this might actually not have that same. Yeah, that's still the order block there. So, but we did tap the CE of that. So yeah, we'll kind of see. It is it is a little tricky, but to me it does make sense to still look for longs. There is technical bearish SMT in the old ways. SMT here. ES has delivered to this high. Dow has delivered to the high, and then into the high. Into the high. We made another high here. So, I mean, there's probably gonna be a dead giveaway inside of this for Nasdaq and ES. Below, ES delivers to the high. Yes. Nasdaq is weaker, and suddenly ES is weaker here. So yeah, that kind of that's tricky. We'll see. But yeah, I would only be trusting the old short because that's what's been working for me lately. And yes, this SMT did work today, where we had the sweep on the Dow. Hmm. So maybe what I need to do is realize that these shorts do definitely still work, and what I need to do is just tighten up my profit take there. Easy target would have just been back into this low, or just as soon as we create any sort of S&T, which is what happened here. Nasdaq came down, boom, broke the low, ES held it, so just an easy profit take there. That's 5R or whatever it was, 3R at least. So I think I should still be looking for those shorts, just as a quick real overview for me. But yeah, that was clean. It's already played out. So now I think we're just waiting for. I think Dow. What needs to happen is Dow needs to just be weak, and then these guys are going to manipulate high. I think is what's going to happen. So just need to write a quick summary. I think we're gonna get the same short setup as usual. What I really think is I think YM is gonna become weak, which will offer longs for the others. Then that will deliver into my new classic short op. Though the old short ops, they just sometimes just don't work though. I'm just not gonna trade it. So RTY, everything creating very bearish profile lows besides IWM. So I really prefer RTY longs when YM makes the SMT for it, but the bearish flows may wait to play just like they tend to for the large short we tend to keep getting. Let's see here. Let me check the actual dates. I need to do that. Options data, net flow. Let's check that spot first. Most of the bearish premium was for today, and tomorrow it's pretty bullish, with some bearish premium for, is that Friday? Next Monday. Interesting. Bearish bullish one. Cool. But SPY wasn't that bearish. I really actually want to look at QQQ and the Dow. The Dow flows weren't that significant though, so maybe Q's is going to tell the picture. Bearish flows for today and tomorrow, but where it really stands out is actually next Friday or something. I think that's next Friday, or maybe 2 weeks from now. That's 6 days after the 15th. Oh no, what? It says that's 21st. Okay, 21st. Yeah, next Friday. I think that's Friday. The 14th. Weird. These dates are all weird. So yeah, that does seem. It doesn't seem overwhelmingly bearish for tomorrow. That's for sure. Net premium by strike. 507. Whoa. Bear premium down at 507s. Which is basically not low there. Wow, that would be crazy. But it would make sense. I mean, this is the huge range here. If we soup this range, last week we souped this one, got a massive move down. This week, wow, yeah, this could be a pretty massive move. We'll see though. I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, just looking at these charts, we had like that equal low there. ES actually came lower than Dow, and then that kind of set up that long there. Now we've taken the high, but so has the Dow. NASDAQ has not, which it should because there was bullish SMT there. So I do suspect the long here has not played out actually on NASDAQ. I do think that it's probably going to come take out these highs, and that's going to be the short. So flows being pretty bearish for next Friday, I think. That's 10 days from now. So yeah, that makes more sense to me. Maybe on the Dow, maybe there's something there. Nothing really. But tomorrow it is bearish. That lines up. That lines up pretty well. And IWM, whoa, all the bear flow was for far out dates. But today was bullish, and we have got bullish flow for the 21st. Funny. Interesting play there. So yeah, I think that's confirming that there is some sort of rotation going to happen here, probably tomorrow or this week, and then the short maybe. So we'll have to see how this is going to play out, but I definitely am waiting for some sort of SMT, whether it's got to be with some sort of significant low. So we'll see what it does overnight. I don't know if there's any setup specifically right now, but but it does look like Russell here starting to be stronger. So maybe it's just going to shoot up overnight. If it shoots up overnight, then obviously I'm not going to look for long. So I'd actually be looking for no, no shorts. I would look for a short until it came way higher. I really think there's going to be a long and it's going to be delivering all the way up here, like a crazy trade. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Make sure I gotta get good sleep. I gotta go to bed here soon. Got my plan, and I am looking for specifically the SMT to be firstly a YM lower, Russell higher for a long, but keeping in mind that Russell could actually be momentarily weak after that SMT. So we'll just see how that's going to happen here. We've already got it here on the higher time frame for Russell being weak. We've already accumulated this low. Come up here. Maybe we gotta rotate back down one more time. Back down below this. We'll see. We'll see. This really smooth highs on NASDAQ. Yeah, it could, YM could already be being weak here, which would actually lead to the long. And then we may not even take out these highs. We may actually just take out these smooth highs here, and that might be the short. So that's the idea. I'll keep my mind open to both. So yeah, adios. That's the plan.